It's okay for the cold to keep us inside this weekend. That's because there's actually something to look forward to other than Aunt Nellie's fruitcake. Two big games. The first is the 81st meeting Saturday night between the UC Bearcats and the Xavier Musketeers at US Bank Arena. UC won by 15 last year. The second is Sunday night's meeting between the Cincinnati Bengals and Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. The Bengals won earlier this season. Okay, let's start with a quickie classic quiz. Here's some of my favorite video clips from the crosstown rivalry. One coach pulling out his hair on the sidelines. There he is. Oh, who is that coach and why was he doing such a thing? The answer at the end of sports. The annual meeting between Xavier and UC has presented some sensational moments over the years. It all got started back in 1928 when Xavier opened up its gym. In fact, the Musketeers won that very first meeting. It's always been toughly played. Sometimes things got a little rough under the boards, and there was a little payback on the way down the court. And years ago, the game was played at then Riverfront Coliseum. Joe Stiffin's game-winning shot shook the building. Xavier started to gain more credibility in those days when it held up the traveling trophy, and then Bob Huggins brought a new edge to this game. In fact, with shots like this one from Nick Van Exel, the Bearcats started to dominate the rivalry in the 90s. Then came a couple of stunners. No longtime basketball fan will ever forget how Lenny Brown brought down #1 UC with this shot at the shoe. Then history repeated itself at the Gardens. Kevin Fry, a stumbling layup that beat the Bearcats. Chris Mack has watched and he's played in this game. He knows what it means to the city of Cincinnati.
The coach speak answer is it's just one game. But having played in the game, having coached the game, it only counts for one game. But the emotion that you feel as a player, the emotion in the building, it's surreal.
Game time, 8 o'clock, US Bank Arena Saturday. Tickets are still available. Then Sunday night, the Bengals and Steelers. The Bengals try to move a step closer to a divisional title in prime time.
It's a Sunday night game. Everybody's watching. Pretty much the whole NFL is watching. And I think it's a statement for us.
Finally, the answer to our Quickie Classic quiz, and this one goes back to January 31st of 1990. Of course, the coach pulling out his hair was Xavier's Pete Gillen. His team was leading in overtime, and here's what he was watching. Closing seconds, Andre Tate missed a real long shot at the horn. Xavier won it by 2 and went crazy. 9 on Your Side's coming back right after this.